This Meditainment production is brought to you today by the Samurai Aquatics and Decor Metaventure. Scan that QR code or click that link in the description and dive yourself headfirst into the Samurai Aquatics Discord server to pleasure your peepers on our current and future range of outdoor decor.
The Whine and Cheese Show is a Metaverse and NFT discussion and interview series brought to you by Metaverse Ventures Entertainment and host BEN68 and Morecheese. Warning: the information and opinions within are solely the views of the individuals involved and contains content not suitable for anyone.
G'day and welcome to episode 49 of the Whine and Cheese and the Metaverses show.
Today we talked to Detech about his art, 3D, and gifts, his journey into learning Blender, how he came up with some of his creations for Samurai Aquatics, and the stresses of being involved in an outdoor decor metaventure.
So put your thing down, flip it and reverse it, and get ready to sink your teeth deeply into another incredibly shitty episode of
The worst show ever.
Whine and cheese. Time for wine and cheese. Wine and cheese. Time for wine and cheese. Cheese.
One is a wanker, one's like it stonks. One's from Australia, one's from the Bronx. Talking about the Metaverse and NFTs. Interviewing all the real crypto G's.
Oh, I can do one.
Hello, welcome to the Whine and Cheese and the Metaverses show. This is Morecheese with my host, BEN68, co-host, and our guest, Mr. Detech, the awesome Mr. Man from Samurai Aquatics, the artist, the man.
Hello, everyone.
This is episode 49.
Yes, and it's wine and cheese time.
All right, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yes,
Wine and
Detech
cheese
is
time.
our returning guest. Is he our second returning guest? Third,
Oh,
maybe?
God.
Oh no, because we've had Teddy on a couple of times, Lil on a couple of
Yeah.
times. Yes. Now we've only got Detech for a short while now because he is an incredibly busy man. So we're gonna flip the show in reverse. Put my thing down, flip it and reverse it. So
I
yeah,
love-
we're gonna do we're gonna do the interview at the front and the shitty spillage at the back.
Missy Beniot.
So take it away, Cheese.
Me? All right, what do we? All right, Detech.
Pour us a
Pour us a hot cup of Detech.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, like, all right, so tell us about your journey into Blender. What is that image on
Right
this?
into
It started, I think I saw the first building competition. No, the first I saw there was this, what do you call them? The hologram. First
yes,
hologram
the
competition.
ornaments sort of thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was like, oh
Kinda
no, the
lighted
winter
up.
ones. I was like, oh, that's interesting, but it's so difficult. How do you even build them, right?
Mm.
And then I, started to get to know more people. And when the building competition came, I already knew a lot of the people who were building stuff. And only on phase 3, I was like, okay, that's it. I gotta try. And I opened Blender, and first like 3 days, I was gonna quit. Like every day, I was like, no, it's too hard. And I keep coming back. So I keep watching videos as I work on the background all the time. Then I built this house. I entered. And then I'm like, I gotta enter the next one too, the phase 4. So I entered that too. Nothing lost, but like nothing won. But I got to know so many people, and so many people were helping me. Like Lily, JJ helped me, Desjak helped me. Like there was just enormous amount of help because it was just the first house was just insanely hard because they're like, wait till you get to baking. I'm like, what's baking, right? And there's 2 days left, and I'm like, I look at every video and I have no idea what they're doing. Like, it's just basically so completely new. It was just like, I don't know. It was like nothing I've ever seen. And then every time people try to explain it, like Lily is explaining something, and I don't understand every second word. Every Blender word, like says baking, I think of like pancakes, right? So
Yeah. Triangles and instances and all sorts of
yeah, it
stuff.
was just
I'm thinking
like,
of a cake. Now I want some
and
cake.
it was two phases. First, the first building, it was a phase where I learned how to build. I'm like, whew, that was hard, but I got it. And then the baking phase was just, they literally helped me do it, and I couldn't figure out for another, the whole building competition.
Mm.
But I met a lot of people, and even more when they saw my buildings, and they were like, "That's pretty good." I'm like, "Cool, yeah." So yeah, and then I thought, I kind of know how to do things. Then the ornament competition comes, and it was with the laser ray, the hologram.
Pull that up.
That
And
was
hologram had
really
to be
cool.
see-through.
Yeah.
So it was another learning curve because I had no idea how to make
Oh,
transparent
it's these
stuff.
two. Yeah.
And so these 5 took so much time, just like extra time, like all-nighters, just trying to figure it out.
I loved both
And
of them. I loved both of them so much. Look at that, so cute.
I'm gonna drive Cheese crazy with my spin arounds. Yeah. Now you weren't an inexperienced digital artist. You've had a lot of experience with the kind of 2D style, and I've seen you do a hell of a lot of GIF animations and things like that for the Uplando show.
yeah.
Can
And I
you?
love architecture, and I wanted to be an architect when I was younger. Then I did a portfolio for my girlfriend back then. She got in. I didn't want to. So then this is like, and I love Legos since I was like very little. I played Lego all the time. So this is kind of like everything coming together, and you can create things, and they're not just a picture, right? So it's something new to me. So
I was surprised at how fast you picked it up. Because like I tried my hand at like Blender, and usually I'm really fast. I'm self-learned in all the programs, but you picked it up and you freaking ran with it. And
Cheese's infamous donut.
my donut, Ben said he would eat it, but I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
oh man, I watched those donut videos. They look incredibly hard. But that's
Really?
yeah, because it's so like, if you think about it, I make low poly stuff for the game, right? So it's completely different. Like I build it from scratch, but the donut, all that stuff is like you have all these tricks, right? Because I don't know any
Oh,
tricks.
really? So I may have to take a Detech. That may be your business, Detech, when things slow down. Teaching, I would pay good money to take a Detech course in Blender.
People are pushing me to record a video. One of the reasons because since I'm new, I know a lot of the stones that I came across as a person who doesn't know anything about 3D.
Yeah.
And there's just like, as I explained to Joe and a couple of people, oh, you got to watch out for this and for that, because like, for example, Lily, when she built her
Lily Tower?
no, even tower decor, they don't come into the same kind of like, oh, this is done like that and like that, right?
That's hot. I love this.
And to me, like every explanation has to be like I'm stupid, right? I'm like, explain it like I'm a 5-year-old because I don't understand any of the terms you're saying, right? So so people are asking like, can you record like a video explaining how you do it from scratch? So I'm still like, I've never done anything like that, so still thinking
It's just
how to
about
do it.
time too, isn't it? There's not enough hours in the day to do everything.
Yeah, just the people like, oh, you managed to build these, but it was just constant all-nighters, like 3-5 hours of sleep just because you do your stuff during the day.
Yeah.
And then I get here at like 10 p.m. I'm like, okay, I got 2 hours. And then at 3 a.m. I'm like, ugh.
So we're very similar in that way, except I'm in the reverse. I get all the day stuff out of the road, try and get to sleep as early as possible, and then get up early to do it. So
See,
yeah.
This is your strategy is kind of more, I don't know how to say it. Like you wake up and you have X amount of hours, you can't step over it because then your day begins.
Yeah.
With me, I kind of push it and push it and push it, and then like I'm a vegetable next day. So
Yeah. That's what I used to do back in my game development days. But yeah, you turn around and it's 4 a.m. and then you're in
Yep.
a panic. Oh crap! I got to get up to go to work in 2 hours.
Yeah,
So-
and then you go to sleep and you're trying to sleep and you can't fall asleep because
Yeah.
you're all like,
Yeah, absolutely.
See,
Yeah, because you're doing this on top of all your other work
Mhm.
commitments, your family commitments, and everything as well. So yeah.
So-
I'll add you into my lotto thing. If I win the lotto, I told Ben I was gonna give him money so he doesn't have to work anymore, and we could just do shows. And so now you're in that, so we could do like designs and art all day long.
And if I
That'd
win
be
lotto,
nice.
I'm going to run away and be a speck on the horizon.
Oh no! Hey Ben, where'd you
Thanks for
go?
See you later.
Well, but make sure you send me a few emails and pictures of where you went. Like,
I'll send you a few wax or something. Don't worry, I'll hook you up.
just let me know you're doing okay.
I'm just thinking how long Ben will last without, all this.
Yes.
Yeah,
Stuff
he'll
that
come
we're doing.
back with his tail between his legs. Did I come back, guys?
Yes.
It was boring out there.
It was
But yeah, I
boring.
just wanted to say that I am a bit burnt out right now from 3D. I'm trying to get back into it, but I don't regret a single moment because it was just like so great.
Yeah.
Just
well,
the
I
needle,
mean,
and when you start doing something that you like so much, that you start meeting people, it's kind of like everything kind of comes together. So it was really awesome.
yeah.
And
this
again,
is-
like I wouldn't show this to somebody like because I keep looking at 3D stuff people do, like the
Mhm.
professionals and the not professional. It's like
That Brooklyn townhouse right there.
yeah.
That
And this is
is so freaking Brooklyn. Like, you have no idea, because I used to live on President Street in Prospect Park. Every single apartment looked like this, all
And
the
it's
way
perfect.
down.
this
It-
would
it-
be a perfect companion to the chode home. The chode home, which is short and fat, but it still doesn't fit on a lot of plots of land.
This is
Something
beautiful.
like this would be perfect.
Yeah.
and it didn't get into the competition; it got lost. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of like basically it's kind of my fault because a lot of when the first entries got out, they stopped it because a lot were missing, and then they asked for everybody whose submission was missing to message them. But I missed it, and I didn't see if mine was there or not, so I didn't message them. And
Yes.
then,
Now,
then
I
it was
think
too late.
yeah, for that competition. Yeah, I think this is because this is ordered by date. This has it shows a good timeline of your journey. I think
Yep.
Yeah.
so it's pretty cool to see. Now, it was about at this stage, I think, where you were doing the Genesis 2022 hologram that we tapped you on the shoulder and said, "Hey, Cheese and I are doing this thing," or was it a bit earlier than that?
I think it was a bit later. You kind of started talking
Was
to
it?
me about it, but you invited me
Yeah.
later.
Yeah,
After
and we thought we said to you, we got this position vacant for a 3D artist. Would you be interested? And you were a little bit hesitant at first, not because you didn't want to get involved. You were just worried about your own skill set more than anything.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And is the sauna here? Is that one of the first pieces?
Yeah, that's the
you
first thing I
completed?
made. Well,
Yeah.
first I made a draft of I think 6 pieces next to the house for them to
That's
approve.
right. Yep.
And then I started detailing. And one of the things that I did, which I realized wasn't a mistake because I like the way it looks, but was the mistake as a beginner is to make those creases in the wood. Because one of the things is you see the red trim goes around it, and there's space there. So I had to manually reconfigure
Oh,
each piece.
it looks good though. It looks like
Looks amazing.
real. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's how it would look. It would have those.
People
Yeah,
told
look
me,
at
why
that.
don't you use texture just to make the creases? I was like, no, I want it to look. And that's like basically 60% of the time
Wow.
on all models.
I can
those creases.
imagine. Oh my gosh. It's so
like as soon as you
beautiful.
started showing us your work, Cheese and I were just in DMs like, oh my god, look at this, look what this dude's doing. It's amazing. So
And then every new model I wanted to make like more and more detailed. So I kind of
Yep.
love myself.
I get that. I know how that is.
Now, you went from the sauna to the portable pool and the jacuzzi, which are structurally and visually, they're pretty similar. What were some of the lessons that you learned in the sauna process that you could apply to some of these later ones?
Just wanted to say that the pool was really easy.
Mm,
It's a circle, and basically you just pull a circle and you make the creases all at once, and it was like very simple. But because the sauna had the inwards thing, inwards
yep.
gap, it had to be all like kind of manual, like, or like when I look at it now, I could have done it a lot faster. But the pool came as a simple shape. I just built that walk steps on top. The
Yeah.
sauna I struggled quite a lot with, and yeah.
Yeah,
But
and we had a bit of a battle to get the water texture approved and that sort of thing. So,
yeah, and I was hoping it will be see-through
yeah,
at first.
transparent.
Remember? So yeah, but yeah, these were basically, these three were the end of the simple simple. Then I decided to switch it up a bit.
Yes, and then you dove straight into something really complex, which was the samurai surfer statue. Now,
Yep.
it's cool. You've got two versions here. You've got the original. You've got the original, which was straight from you, and then you've got the one that we've submitted, which Cheesy got involved here. Maybe you two can talk about the process you went through to collaborate on this, because it was very much a collaboration.
Well, I gave him sections and he just freaking ran with it. And he even showed me how to go in there and kind of put them on myself. And I will be trying that in the future, but I was too nervous to even attempt it. But like he took my textures and he like freaking was a genius with them.
Yeah,
And like look inside, you can look up inside the samurai guy's shorts.
Please don't.
Jingle bells, jingle bells. Yes. So yeah, you worked together on all these things.
This wasn't the first model we did together. Like, I mean, with textures, this was the second, I think.
Yeah, we did
the third.
The third.
Yeah, because we did the pillows next.
Yeah, we did the umbrella first, the pillows
So
next.
we knew what we were doing. The first one, oh, it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
I had to basically redo the umbrella to have it on there.
And that's what happened with the pillows here, where it was something. Oh, it was the rounding of the stripe on the pillow or something that was frustrating you, wasn't it?
Oh, I wanted to leave the stripes like that. You see how they go straight and then they start wibbling? I really like that.
Yeah.
For some reason, and I wanted to keep that, and it was really hard to keep that because straighter is easier.
Yeah, I love that. I love this one. Is like it's simple yet it's not like this is my favorite, I think. And I hear a lot of people talking about it too, like everything about it, just all the different things coming together to make it, like the wood, the stone, the gravel, like the fabric. I don't know.
Yeah, we did have a fire texture in there, but we were told can't be approved because you're not allowed to have fire. Yeah. We don't know why, but that was the thing.
It was my first time making stones like that, and I had to redo it 2 times because I messed it up. But I wanted to have the creases. I was like, if I have the creases in the wood, I have to have the creases in the stones as well.
Yeah, the other one you collaborated on was this one that came together. This was very cool. I don't know. I've played around zooming in with my fingers.
Yeah, that was the first one.
If it ever shows up. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, if you're listening on the Spotify, you might want to get yourself over and check it out because it's very visual, this episode. So this was the dragon. Now we had a lot of debate internally in the team. Is it a Chinese dragon? Is it a Japanese dragon? And Cheese was the one who schooled us on that.
Yep, we had this whole...
Yeah, and so if it's Japanese, it has 3 fingers.
Yep. we had just as much dragon and all the details and cultural discussion as we did with the how to get the texture on there.
Yeah, I asked my wife, and she's like, I don't know. And I got her to ask her dad, and he's like, I don't know. So, but I showed him the end result. Like I showed all the family the end result, and they were like,
Be right
oh, that
back.
looks amazing. So
Oh, that's cool.
yes, and I imagine remember like we had a lot of discussions internally about how to do the veins on the umbrella, whether they should show through on the top or not. So, but what I really like is if you zoom right in, you can actually see, how it's all textured, and it has the raised line for the vein for the umbrella.
Yeah, that is so
Really
amazing.
incredible.
Hey guys, I just want to apologize. I have about 5 minutes and I have to go pick up my daughter soon.
You're right, mate.
I have less time.
That's all right. Probably the one last thing I'd like to touch on was your block explorer that you made, which I was a little bit disappointed to see that Upland wasn't able to use it directly.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, they have this thing. Like I read all the files they have, like, but they don't have a submission for 3D yet. Maybe I think they were going to go that way, but they didn't. And I asked, and nobody knew from Upland how to do it, so I just submitted the picture, and they made a.
Just hilarious. I love it.
I didn't work on the sides and the back because I needed the front.
It's almost a chode home head. Just need a window at the back and a door at the front.
Dude, I've never seen the side of that before. That just makes me love it even more.
I should squish it a bit, I guess.
No, don't touch it. Don't touch it.
It's like a choo-choo train.
You're the little,
right, well-
the little Detech that could.
We won't hold you for much longer, mate. I'd just be interested to know if somebody was wanting to like learn how to start doing Blender, where would you recommend they start? Like, what would be a good starting process?
See, there's two differences. If you want to learn 3D in Blender, there's lots of stuff on YouTube. If you want to learn something specific, like for Upland, it's basically very specific, and Blender is just so broad. So first thing I did, it was a building competition, so it was easy. I just went and learned how to build a basic house, and with like windows, because like how you make a shape, how do you make wall thickness. Like first day, I was just playing around with a square, try to get a wall out of it or something, which was really hard. But it's a navigation. If you've never done 3D before, learn like navigational for videos first, and then learn the basic tools because they're gonna come in handy. And then it kind of builds up, and then you start getting into these like things you can you need to do something specific. You can look it up, and you have it turns out there's a whole library of like functions they can turn on, and they do specific things with the click of a button.
Awesome.
So
Very good.
start using Blender, everyone.
Well, we won't hold
again.
you any longer, mate. Appreciate your time jumping in today, and yeah, super impressed with all your work and love everything that you do, and can't wait to see more.
And we love you.
Just the beginning.
We are family.
Bye.
Nice.
Bye.
All right, mate. See you later. Now we have that awkward minute where he's still here. It actually reminds me a lot of when I first decided, okay, I'm going to start learning game development as a hobby. And you get yourself a little notebook and you sit down and you think, okay, oh crap. And like there was a whole night where I just learned how to, make one character move in, sideways or something. And then bits and pieces you do. If you want to make it shoot, well, you check out a tutorial on how to make it shoot or how to make it jump. And it's just about incrementally building those skills. But
Yeah.
the time is the biggest thing. You cannot underestimate how much time it takes to do all this stuff.
Like anything that you start from the very beginning is gonna be difficult because it's the first time you're doing it. But
Absolutely.
as you keep going, it's gonna you're gonna pick it up faster and easier.
Absolutely. Now,
Now,
before
time for me, myself, and eyes.
Oh, hang on. Before we do that,
Okay.
there's a couple of pieces, I can't speak. A couple of more pieces I'd like to check out here.
I want to see the other seating. The other seating.
The steak, as it's been referred to on Twitter. Yeah, on Twitter. Everyone's saying it looks
Steak.
like a
Yeah, I
tomahawk
saw
steak.
that. That's funny.
I have really messed up my navigation on my laptop doing this with my fingers. Outdoor sitting with table. There
Oh,
it
there
is.
goes the steak. Nom, 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 nom.
Yes.
Well, let's talk of food. I just had a sandwich, but
Sandwiches.
sandwich.
Yeah, so this is one of the 2 items that we are constructing now. Now one thing we didn't talk about with Detech was, why are we only building 2 items, Cheese, when we have 10 in the set and we had several items approved? Why is there only 2 building?
So
under construction?
we had a chance to wait, I don't know how much I could say. Like the sizing was a bit off, so we had to fix it.
The scaling, yeah,
The
basically.
scaling.
Yeah.
So
When Detech builds all of those Blender models, he had to say the width, the height in Blender meters or something, and the length. We had to submit all of those as part of the submission process. But then once it got imported into Upland, they do some kind of optimization on that end, and it kind of whacked out all the scaling. So our what was it? It was the swing was really tiny, and the jacuzzi was massive, and so the scaling was all out of whack.
The jacuzzi looked like another pool.
Yeah. Individually, all of those pieces, it would have been fine. But because this is a set, if we had pushed it all together as a set, it just would have looked bizarre. So
yeah,
we decided as a team that rather than rush through something that we weren't going to be happy with, we just went with what we were happy with, the scaling, and everything else will work out in time. So
it sucks in the beginning because, of course, we want everyone to be able to get everything right away. But in the long run, we also want it to look really good on people's properties. And if we have to kind of like suffer through it in the beginning for that, it sucks now, but it's better later, sort of thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Maybe we just touch on the dragon as the last one. The dragon.
Well, I want to say one thing about that couch, the seating. Like, it's like super modern, and it looks extremely comfortable. So like for people who aren't really like, I've never had a fire pit. I've always wanted one though, and it looks super cool. But at the same time, the steak chair, we'll call it the steak chair now. It's like super modern. It also reminds me a little bit of Fallout in a sense, because the seating you can make in Fallout 4 is very similar to that. I just love Fallout 4.
Well, it's fire pit season here at the moment, so we're having one nearly every weekend. We were going to have one tonight actually again, but it's pissing down rain, so I put the kibosh on that. So yeah, we'll just have a look at one more here, which would be we've already talked about the Samurai Aquatics logo previously. Like that was a great collaboration. What's that?
You can see it in our commercial,
which will be patched into this episode. Yes, absolutely. So yeah, the dragon fountain. This is one that we all work together on, collaborating from the very early idea, and this is pretty much the only piece that was in my original business plan that we were allowed to do, because the original business plan was, garden ponds and in-ground pools and this, that, and the other thing. But yeah, we also did have fountains in there, or bird baths sort of thing.
I love this one.
Yes. Now, unfortunately, we did have the original version had water coming out of the dragon's mouth into the first bowl, overflowing into there. But we were told we weren't allowed to have any visual representation of flowing water, even though it wasn't animated or anything. Again, same with the fire situation. We don't really know why. It was just one of those limitations that were put on, and we just worked around it. So, but yes, of course, Detech did all of the modeling for this, but Cheese did all of the textures, all of these crazy textures that you can see, and yeah,
it's like scales.
Yeah, once you zoom in, the level of detail on through it all is just incredible.
His little eyes.
Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun.
That was fun. We were like so happy after we got that going, because it was like truly like a three-way effort on that one.
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely. And we went backwards and forwards. Yeah.
I love that about Detech. Like he is truly artist perfectionist like I am. Like I know we have to rush and be fast on this, and if we did, we would probably have a lot more stuff, but we just wanted everything to be perfect. Like we wanted it, you look at it from any angle, we wanted it to be flawless sort of thing.
Yeah. And what I love about Detech as well is that he's fully open to, not criticism. What would be a word that I'd use?
Ideas, new ways, techniques. Yeah.
Sometimes that has been a source of frustration. Like we're trying to tell Detech, like, you have full autonomy over making these decisions, but he's always double checks in with us. So
and I have to ask him like 3 or 4 times before he's okay with telling me to fix my stuff. And I'm like, Detech, tell me something's wrong. Tell me what to do. I want this to be perfect. He's like, no, Cheese, you're good. You're good. And I'm like, well, what would you change if you had to change anything? He's like, maybe this. And I'm like, all right, no, that's perfect.
Yeah, because we've been through that journey, you and I, with doing the NFTs for this show. Like, now you'll send me a work in progress, and I'll either say I love it, or I'll be like, I'll just tell you straight up. Yeah.
So I am, for me, a work in progress is a work in progress. It's not finished. It always looks bad at the beginning. I don't want any say on that, but you have 100% say on the finished product.
Yeah. Sometimes I say, what was the TD one? I was like, yeah, it looks awesome, but those eyes are whack. And you're like, I haven't done the eyes. Absolutely. All right, let's move on to some spearage, because like I said, we're doing this all last about. Now, last week we talked about why is an Upland part of mainstream media's coverage, and we put that out as a mini clip again. So the first thing I did this morning was, let's just do a quick Google search, hey, for the old Upland. So I searched Metaverse, Upland News, sorted by date, and the latest article anywhere is 2 weeks ago about Rio de Janeiro. So I thought, maybe it's because I'm using the wrong terminology. So I just got rid of the Metaverse and used Upland News. And then something interesting popped up. What was it? Yeah, there's a whole bunch of things. Upland Software Incorporated is priced at $9.75.
So, wait.
That's nothing.
Oh, yeah, because they're private. They're private.
Yeah, so I don't know. I tried a whole bunch of different things. Upland Game News and...
What about just Metaverse News in Google?
Oh, here we go. Our Outdoors, 4 factors for Upland Game. Yeah, Upland Game means there's some place in America where they do game shooting or something. Yes, 3 weeks ago. Yeah. What did you say to search for?
Just Metaverse News.
Metaverse News is how I find all the articles for the show. So yeah, there was nothing Upland related. So yeah, so if you're out there and you're heavily invested in Upland, perhaps consider getting some articles out there like the Whine and Cheese put together.
Yes.
If mainstream media's not going to cover it, well, I guess it's kind of on us to get it out there a bit more. So. All right, so that's it for that. The next one, me old mate, me best mate, me new China plate.
Oh no! What do you got to say about Zuck?
There you go.
Look, he's happy there. Look at how happy he is.
Look at me, mate. Oh, what a fun guy he is. I'd buy him a beer.
He probably just drinks like wine. Never
Probably
beer, only wine.
Up. He'd have his pinky up. That's cool.
What do you want on your cornflakes? I'll have some wine. All right. The continued unraveling of Mark Zuckerberg's malicious metaverse. That sounds extremely aggressive.
Oh, you're going to love this.
Really? Almost nobody seems to believe that Horizon Worlds can become the next Facebook. That's worth celebrating. What does this guy have against Zuck? I mean, I just didn't like those visuals. I don't like wish him bad. Being right about another man's failures. What?
Yeah. What is best in life?
Where do you find these articles?
Being right about another man's failures, watching his allies abandon him, and hearing the lamentations of his stockholders. Call me the world's happiest cynic then, because when I predicted the utter and catastrophic failure of Facebook's rebranding as Meta, starting less than a year ago, I genuinely didn't think it would all unravel as quickly and is, what's that word, ignominiously as it has. Horizon Worlds, Meta's intended metaverse, went live in December, and my God, it has been downhill from there.
Now, this guy sounds like a bastard. Right now, like, I kind of hate him.
Did you or have you watched the Joe Rogan episode with Mark Zuckerberg?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I watched the first half hour of it and I got bored.
All right. Did you have it at 2x speed? That'll keep you entertained.
No.
Or watch it at half x speed and it sounds like they're drunk. That's hilarious. Now, my old mate, my old friend, the old Zuck, he did talk about this. He did refer to this, how, yeah, of course, if you're investing in new technology, it costs a crap ton of money, and chances are you're going to lose money at the front end.
That's what I said when I was sticking up for him in the beginning.
Yeah, you're building for the future.
Yeah.
So no, this guy's is all about it. It's hilarious.
I even said that he's good for old people or people that are lazy and don't want to learn crypto and wallets. Like, they just want to put up stuff on Facebook without like putting any work into it. Yeah, like there's a place for everybody.
Absolutely.
The good news is that we're getting a lot of free entertainment out of Mark Zuckerberg's attempts to be the face of this dead end transition. And the past few weeks have seen some real highlights, culminating with a transcendently embarrassing appearance on Joe Rogan's Ben. Hold Ben back. Hold him back. Don't fight this guy, Ben. On Joe Rogan's podcast last week. Zuck and his marketing team are still seemingly enthralled to the Meta CEO's former status as a Silicon Valley wonderkind, evidently blinding them to his nearly supernatural lack of personal appeal. This article is making me angry.
I love it. I love it. Actually.
Love it. Oh,
yeah, that's good. I love FUD. Love it. Yeah, now that's one of the things that we always used to laugh about too, was the kind of lack of personal appeal and that sort of thing, and all the quirky sort of stuff that he did. But I thought in the Joe Rogan podcast, he put a more human face on the whole thing. Now, you're a bit skeptical as far as the mask and that goes, but yeah.
I mean, this guy just seems like a twat.
Oh, he is. Like, this next bit, it gets even better.
The results are frequently, in a word, delicious for a hater like me. And while the sizzle comes in the form of incredible public relations embarrassments, after that comes the steak. Facebook's pivot to Meta is crashing and burning as a material business proposition with astonishing rapidity.
Yeah, so basically he's saying that it's all crashing and burning, FUD. Yeah. But, as I said, Zuck kind of alluded to this, that it's going to be a period of, learning and growth, and investment was the biggest thing. Part of the reason that they're losing money is because they're investing a lot of money in things that haven't made an income yet,
But, all right, so you know what? This makes me feel like this guy is making Zuck out to be the underdog, which is backfiring because it's actually making me feel bad for Zuck.
Yeah.
And making him more likable. So in a sense, all this FUD is kind of like a reverse psychology type thing.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it'll be hilarious to look back on this article in 5 years. Now, this is something that you talked about too, when I said that Zuck was showing Joe Rogan the latest Oculus. And you said, is that the one I've got? So it says, you see, it turns out that Meta actually sold a whole lot of its Oculus Quest 2 headsets over the 2021 holiday season, which would have been new, with app installs suggesting about 2 million new units activated over a 2-week period. For comparison, a little over 20 million total PlayStation 5 consoles and 15 million Xbox Series X units have sold in the past 2 years. they're trying to say that as a comparison. Look, Oculus and VR, and that is cutting edge technology. The prices are still high. Look how engaged I am in the metaverse and all that sort of stuff. I haven't even begun to consider buying one yet. And it's not because I don't believe in the technology. It's just that, I don't think that, I don't have time for it in my life is one point. But my kids, my eldest has just had a sleepover last night, and he sent us a video where he was at one of these big play centers where it's a massive factory, and they've all got VR headsets on and they're holding guns and this sort of thing.
So cool.
And it's so hilarious to it's a massive factory, and it's kind of sounds like, when you're playing tennis and you hear the squeaking shoes on the floor. That's all you could hear because there's no sound, because they're all immersed in the experience. And it's funny watching them kind of run around cautiously in this kind of big open warehouse. Him and his
Show me that
bunch
picture
of mates.
after this.
I'll have to, yeah.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing. I would love to have something like that here.
Yeah, so for the younger generation, it's something they're definitely getting more and more, involved in. And Keanu, my second son, he has already asked me, can we get a VR headset for Christmas? And I keep saying, yeah, not yet, mate. So yeah, there's definitely from the younger generation, definitely a groundswell that's going to be all about this.
Yeah.
In, say 5-10 years, that sort of thing. So yeah, so that's me old mate Zuck. He's getting a bit of FUD, although I would imagine he's pretty used to that. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not going to keep going on there, but yeah, it's a hilarious article. Get over there and check it out yourself. Who is this guy? What's his name?
David's jerk off.
David Z. Morris. Go and check that out. So yeah, so that's me old mate Zuck.
How old is Zuck, by the way? Do you think he's had any work done? I'm sure he's had Botox.
I don't know.
He's got to be around our age, no?
Keep talking and I'll find out.
All right. Well, I mean, and I'm sure he wears makeup at times because, his skin in that picture, you could tell with the freckles.
Oh, he wouldn't have an option. 1984, so he
is 5 years older
way
than
younger
me.
than me.
He's 5 years younger than me.
Yeah. Yes.
38. 37, 38, around there.
Just a spring chicken.
Not that springy.
Not that springy. All right. You ready to move on?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, this next one.
I hope you have a positive one.
Yeah, we're going on a bit of a journey here. So next one is about Asian countries zero in on developing the metaverse and regulating crypto advertising. Just going to focus on the first part there, really, I think. Now, we've talked a lot about how some of the Asian countries are investing, billions of dollars. Some of the Arab countries, multiple billions. So this one's all about South Korea.
All right.
So South Korea's push for a more open yet regulated approach to blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies continued this week as Hyo, a member of the National Assembly with an entrepreneurial past, put forth a proposal to enact the Metaverse Industry Promotion Act in an effort to support the Web3 industry. So again, this is one of those articles we're talking about governments getting involved in setting up for Web3. This is not just people putting blockchain games out there or this, that, and the other thing.
But it does say support. So I'm feeling like this is going to be something like they're going to leave it up to the people, but just put things in place to kind of help them with it.
Well, we talked about this last week where the NFTs is the bridge between Web 2 and Web 3. And, we keep saying that the NFT aspect of it is probably going to be, bureaucracy and, official documents and that sort of stuff. So, I would imagine that with governments getting involved, that would be a significant part of it as well. I think this is just further fuel for that. The proposal from I'm not going to even try to say that, from this guy was supported by numerous other National Assembly members, according to reports from local media. The text of the bill establishes a Metaverse Policy Review Committee, which reports directly to the Prime Minister, which is your president, similar role, and will be tasked with deliberating the policies promoting Metaverse development within the country. It also requires the Minister of Science and Information and Communication Technologies to, in quotes, establish a basic plan for the activation of the Metaverse every 3 years.
That sounds weird.
Oh, I don't think so. It means they're going to get together and have a powwow and think, you know, what are we going to do with this thing? They're going to have an official team meeting, basically.
That next paragraph makes me a little worried. It says companies that make the switch over from the legacy internet to Metaverse also stand to benefit from the bill, which offered incentives and regulatory protections for those working in the Metaverse related fields. But what about the little people? What about the bottom up people? Is it just companies that are going to benefit?
Yeah, I think this is focusing, again, I think this is focusing more on the bureaucracy side of things. So think about companies as far as tax reporting, or, you know, even pay slips and that sort of stuff, or health insurance. There's a whole myriad of ways the same technology that's currently applied to gaming and that sort of stuff could be applied to official documentation. So yeah, anything that can streamline the process from a government perspective is probably something they're looking to invest in. So maybe that's what it's talking about more so than, you know, your smaller mum and pop sort of companies. Or I'm not really sure.
Oh, meanwhile in Thailand.
Well, where'd you jump to? Down there.
Scroll down a bit.
Yes. Oh, that's the advertising. Thailand cracks down on crypto ads. Yeah, we see heaps of countries doing that. I think Facebook banned all cryptocurrency ads for a very long time. So, yeah, I mean, that's nothing new.
It's new to me.
Yeah, that's nothing new. So, yes, I think this is very interesting, though. Oh, here we go. And this relates to that as well. Earlier this week, it was reported that the Bank of Korea has called for a lift on the ban of ICOs, initial coin offerings, in the country, further evidence that the nation is looking to have a more open stance in regard to cryptocurrencies in blockchain technology. Did you ever get into ICOs back in the day?
No.
I went in big time, huge
How'd that go
time.
for you?
Mixed bag. I went into a system where I was upscaling my ICO involvement. Like, I put in some Ethereum, and that went really well, and I kind of reinvested. I had it worked out on paper that if I could do it again 2 more times, then it would have been, you're talking significant money. But just at the point of taking that next step was kind of, I think it was mid to late 2018, and the government started cracking down left, right, and center because there were so many rug pulls. I was lucky that I only ever got rug pulled once, and that was like a $50 investment or something, so it was not much.
That's not bad.
But yeah, it's funny actually. Utrust, the company that Upland uses for the crypto payments, yeah, I was in on that ICO. There's a whole bunch of companies that I was in on the ICO that are still around today and doing pretty well. So,
all right,
it's good to see. So we shall see. But yeah, I think government involvement is a double-edged sword. It's kind of a blessing and a curse. It's going to help push everything along. It's going to help mainstream adoption, but it does come with regulation and that sort of thing as well. So it ain't always puppies and rainbows, the old regulation. All right, moving on. Now, another thing.
Check the messages in here. This article goes on. That wasn't advertising. This says Asian countries, not just South Korea. I wanted to see the Thailand thing.
Where are we? Let me go back to share screen. Not that one. Where are we? There we go. It's just a short article. Yep.
It's the same article.
Yeah, this is it. It follows on. Thailand cracks down on crypto ads.
All right,
This is
move
it.
on. Move on.
Yeah. So that was just it's the next one is something else that we've been talking about at length too, as far as how NFTs are going to be used in the real world for what is it? Ticketmaster. Ticketmaster teams up with Flow. And I can't find the share screen again. There we go. Ticketmaster teams up with Flow to issue NFTs for live events. Hermes plans Metaverse fashion shows. So yeah, this is something we've been talking about for ages as far as the actual use of NFTs. And it says here, the price of a ticket may soon get you not only a great show, but also an NFT to tuck away, with Ticketmaster embracing crypto. Now, you and I have talked about this all through the history of our show, and it seems like it's going to come to fruition.
Why does Flow sound familiar?
It's a blockchain, Flow blockchain.
All right.
Yeah. I actually have a little hodl bag of Flow myself, so my God, look at these things. So the price of a ticket, yeah, what I just said. The US ticketing giant has been noticing business possibilities for NFTs for a while now, having first partnered with Dapper Labs and its Flow blockchain to mint 70,000 virtual commemorative ticket NFTs for the most recent NFL Super Bowl in February. So that did, I remember at the time we talked about how this seemed like they were just kind of dipping their toe in and testing the situation or the systems. Well, it seems like, yes, they're going to double down on that. And that's what it says here. That deal must have ticked all the right boxes in the Ticketmaster boardroom, because the company is now working with Flow to enable event organizers more broadly to issue NFTs before, during, and after live events. Now, that seems very familiar with the whole Upland Legits thing.
Yeah, I feel like we talked about this article a few weeks ago.
Wasn't this article specifically?
Well,
but
no, of
there's
course
a lot
not.
of, yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of stuff that we've been talking about has all kind of, it's coming to a head, as they say. So yeah, I think this is really exciting. So if we think about the legits, like you can buy, well, they call them packs, but they're not technically packs of legits, are they? That was a whole bunch of drama associated with that. So you can buy legits for the NFLPA and soon to be soccer in Upland, and that's before events. And then, I don't know, during events, you're going to be able to visit stadiums and buy extra ones. And if a player does really good, you can upscale your legits or something. I don't know. Do you know any more about that whole system?
No.
No, something I haven't paid much attention to because I don't play with it myself. But yes, and this is exactly here. I don't know if you want to take that away.
No.
A press release explains that the NFTs will essentially be digital collectibles designed to augment fans' day of experiences. And Ticketmaster says the offering has already attracted a lot of take-up, with the company now having minted more than 5 million NFTs for event organizers. It also details that the NFTs have possibilities beyond simple keepsakes, such as providing access to loyalty rewards, VIP engagement, and further fan-based experiences.
So it's like that sandwich. They give you that stamp every time you go get a sandwich. This is basically, you go to an event, you get a stamp.
Yep, absolutely. Event organizers who choose to offer fans an NFT with their ticket have a real opportunity to make this new technology relevant and relatable at scale. This is why we're partnering with Flow, because their blockchain is custom built for fan engagement and frictionless consumer experiences. The Flow blockchain, by the way, is well known within the crypto industry for developing the NBA Top Shot series of NFTs and its marketplace, as well as partnering with the UFC and NFL for similar NFT-based efforts. Now, that is interesting when we think about that, all the drama that was associated with the NBA Top Shots, like the sales of their NFTs, where the system would crash and all that. Is the Flow blockchain really up to the task?
Well, I guess we'll see.
I guess we'll see, absolutely. Whether it's perhaps its limitations on the UI end more so than the blockchain itself, we'll have to see. And then, yeah, it talks about how blah, 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 other brands are getting involved in the metaverse. So, yeah, the Ticketmaster thing involvement, that was the thing I was most interested to talk about because, yeah, as you kind of said, it feels like we've already talked about it because, yeah, I think from the beginning of this show, we've kind of been hinting at this as a possibility. And like I said, it's very cool to see it all playing out.
Yeah.
Exactly as we planned. Yes. All right. Now, one last thing that I had to touch on, which I don't even remember what it was. So this will be just as exciting for me. Da, 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 if it's going to load. I think this was a kind of fuddy one again. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. No. Oh, this was just a very short one. Metaverse in the enterprise. What you need to know. Ah, yes. Now I remember. It is a kind of throwback to the old 2017, 2018 crypto days. So here we have an article from itprotoday.com, which I don't know anything about this website, but it looks official, sounds official. Now, they say here there's a lot of excitement about the so-called metaverse and its potential across many areas of work and life. What impact will it have, and is it already having on the enterprise? This report dives into the promised challenges and practical enterprise applications of metaverse technologies. Okay, so it's talking about a report, and then there's a big link here. Click here to download the report. How brave are you, Cheese? Would you like to click on that link?
No.
Yes. So it outlines some more information about, you know, some history of the metaverse, blah, blah, blah. Those that delay in hitting the start button on metaverse planning could be scrambling to play catch up, potentially missing out on delivering new customer and employee experiences that can pay off on the bottom line. This free metaverse in the enterprise trend report will, bullet points, discuss what you need to know before jumping into the metaverse. Review the tools you'll need once you jump in. Examine the security, storage, and sustainability challenges of joining the metaverse. Cover which industries will most benefit from the metaverse. Explore what roles DevOps teams and developers will play in building applications and services for the metaverse. Review how the metaverse delivers humans as a service. Don't miss this opportunity to get the data you need to get started on your metaverse journey. Click here to download the report.
What the hell is this?
Now, when I read this, what it's reminded me of is back in the old, well, I say the old crypto ICO days, there was a lot of people and a lot of these kind of newsletter, sign up, get our pump and dump reports, basically. So it was sign up and pay a bit of money, and we're going to give you the goss on the top 5 cryptocurrencies that are going to boom 100x next year. You know, and you only have a limited time to download this report. There was a whole bunch of these things, heaps of them. Some of them were charging up to $1,000 for access to this very important information that you could only get by clicking on the link and downloading the report. Yeah, this just screams scamage to me.
Yeah.
I mean, is there anything there that you couldn't get yourself just by doing a bit of Googling? No. You know, it just, I think the more that, yeah, how can I put this? I think as far as Metaverse goes, we're at that kind of early 2017 stage in crypto where everything was just sort of getting out in the mainstream. You know, people were starting to discuss it more. And then once these sort of things started to kick off, well, the sharks started circling and you just had scams coming from left, right, and center. People just getting absolutely wrecked, you know, selling their car, taking out second mortgages to go in on these reports, and then just getting destroyed in the markets. So, yeah, I think this is one of those situations where if you're in the metaverse space, just be very, very mindful of what you go clickety-clicking on and that sort of thing.
Well, I just found something really interesting where makeup companies are actually looking to the metaverse to kind of like put their styles similar to the styles that people are creating in the metaverse. Like they're following that trend.
Oh, I'll bring that up now. Bonus content.
Bonus
My
content.
God, that has a lot of ads.
You want me to bring it up?
I can get it. I got it now. And here we go. We got Roblox mentioned yet again. Roblox virtual makeup trends influence beauty brands in the metaverse. There you go. So I remember we talked about this ages ago. Like, there was talk about companies like perfume companies getting involved in the metaverse, and we're thinking, how the hell's that going to work? But it's all about kind of blending, and like we talked about last week, it's bridging the gap between Web 2.0 and Web 3.0. So.
Well, I find this really interesting because it's not the companies influencing the people, it's the people influencing the companies.
Yes.
Like the makeup trends in Roblox influence the company brands, and like, so Roblox virtual makeup may be trendy, but player obsession with digital avatar customization has real world implications. Major beauty brands such as NARS and NYX are paying close attention to how users engage with beauty-driven avatar products within the metaverse, and analyzing these activities' impact on the bottom line. And all of this impacts the strategies that make up a broader digital beauty revolution.
Absolutely. And remember we talked about Robloxians. Remember we talked about this, I forget what the company was, but we talked about how this is essentially a way for companies to do free or very, very cheap research and development on their products, rather than spend all of this time and money, developing products, real world products, putting them out in the market, seeing what's going to work, what's not going to work, what the trends are. Just do it in a virtual sense. It costs bugger all, and you're going to get, instantaneous digital data that you can, make business decisions on. Yeah, this is a great find, Cheese.
At the same time, though, would you put on makeup that you would put on your fake self in the metaverse in real life?
Well, I wouldn't, because I'm an ugly old man and I don't really care about.
You're naturally that beautiful, Ben?
Yes. Yeah. I don't know. Well, I'll throw that back at you. Would you?
I don't wear makeup. My face is very sensitive. So like, if anything, I might put like a little, if my face gets red outside, if I go outside, I may put a little allergen-free powder on to keep it like, and it's usually SPF branded, but I can't really wear makeup because it'll affect my skin. I'll break out or something, like rashes. Gosh. Yeah. There's worse things in life. But yeah, it's like in my metaverse life, I would be all about that. But see, so our users view their avatars as an extension of their real life identity. Burke says 1 in 5 Roblox users update their avatar daily, which includes trying on new virtual makeup.
Nice.
Major brands such as Backup NYX and YSL Beauty are experimenting with emerging metaverse technologies, including branded virtual worlds, Web3, blockchain, and NFTs. However, other beauty brands seek to reap the benefits of tapping into existing metaverse spaces such as Roblox, where fashion and beauty trends are a significant part of the platform's appeal. Well, I mean, the thing that I like the most about this is they're not doing it to try to copycat them. They're doing it outside of the metaverse in real life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I would never wear virtual makeup, Cheese. I would never. I was wondering when you're going to catch on.
I thought I was seeing things. Beautiful, beautiful. Can you wear that the rest of the show?
Sure. Yeah, so no, I think that's very exciting as well. And yeah, it's cool to see Roblox. I'm gonna have to look into this because Keanu's always playing Roblox. And actually, when I picked him up from my sister's house yesterday, because it was a pupil free day, he was telling me a story where he was saying something about apparently you can buy 100,000 Roblox. Don't quote me on any of these figures because I was kind of driving at the time and half listening.
It's
And
not
Keanu,
Roblox
once he gets talking on topics, he just goes crazy.
device.
So anyway, the numbers won't be accurate, but apparently you can buy 100,000 Robux or something for $1,000 or something like that. And there's players doing some kind of scam where there's some system in place where then you can sell that back to USD or something. So I don't know.
Wow, that's $1,000 is a lot. I know there's actually some really cool games on that because I know
Yeah.
there's this zombie game that I play with my little niece Carol, and we go around with these other people and we just like shoot these zombies, and you get to pick you get to pick where you're gonna be, and then like you level up, and the more you play without dying, the more advanced it gets.
You're not going to be able to concentrate, are you?
You look like all right, so you look like you ate a bunch of cheese and cheese doodles, the orange ones, and then you like wiped your hands on your eyebrows.
We'll save that for another day. Yes. All right. Well, just as we're wrapping up, I did have to mention that within the Samurai Aquatics, like as Cheese's background, and we had Detech on this morning, who's the 3D artist. Now, the Samurai Aquatics and Decor is the user-generated content metaventure business that we are running together in the Upland Metaverse, where we are creating outdoor decor items. We did start our own Discord that has been going for a couple of months now, but we very recently opened that up to the public. As part of that, all of the people who have onboarded early have been awarded the Genesis Wave role in the server. We're going to close that down this weekend. So if you're listening to this in the future, which is tomorrow, you have probably about another 12 more hours to get yourself into the Samurai Aquatics Discord server and get rolled as the Genesis Wave. I will be closing that down, like I said, and we'll then switch to, it'll be like Wave 1 or something like that, Wave 2 or that. So yeah, there will be some kind of future perks associated with being in the Genesis Wave. You might get access to things ahead of other people, or you might be privy to other information. Cheese and I have talked before the show that we're going to put a special NFT together. We haven't had a chance to talk to Detech about that yet because he was only available for a limited amount of time, but we'll work something out and put that together, and that'll be given to the Genesis Wave participants. Well, it won't actually be given because we don't give stuff away. You actually have to put a little bit of work in. So once that Genesis Wave opportunity has closed, I'll put a post out in to show us your WAM. If you submit your WAM address for the Wax blockchain, then we'll collate those NFTs, and Cheese will do her clickety-click magic, and we'll set that up. And once that's all ready to go, again, we'll say, okay, your NFTs are ready to be picked up. I don't know. How long should we give people to pick it up? It's not going to be long. And then we'll just burn them.
Oh my God, yeah. And then there'll be more. Ooh, I like that. We could give them a week.
Yeah.
We could give them a week.
We'll give them a week, and we'll give them a couple of @everyone pings and that sort of stuff. We try not to @everyone ping in that server much at all. So yeah, there's a couple of steps there. Yeah, if you already got the Genesis Wave role, you're good to go. If you're already in the server, you're good to go. Yeah, just keep your eye out and your ears out for when we drop the show us your WAM. If you don't have a WAM, well, you're going to have to go over and get yourself a Wax Cloud or whatever the other one is.
Anchor.
Account set up. Anchor, yeah. So I have to get that set up. And yeah, see how that all pans out in the future. But yes, that opportunity will be closing up this weekend.
Do you want to give some good news about your thing this morning?
Oh, the Kari. Yes. Yes. I completely forgot about that.
Ben got a car.
Well, technically, I didn't get a car. I got a truck. So, yes. But, yeah, I've been registering for all of the new vehicles that have come to the Upland Metaverse. they've just started to be produced. I have had zero luck with the RNG gods, as have you. Zero luck at all, but yeah. And I did, I don't know if you saw, Cheese, I had a big whine about this in the Upland General last night before I went to bed. I was like, for real, Upland, either you're not listening or you don't care. For Christ's sake, put a 12-hour gap between the end of registration and the start of the sale, so people such as myself and vast swathes of the earth don't have to get up at stupid AM to see if it's worth getting up at stupid AM.
But it was worth it.
Yeah, and Lighted Up Dan, to his credit, he said, hang on a minute, I thought I already sent that through, and Deez Jacks posted a feedback form that she'd submitted. So there is a bit of a groundswell for this. Hopefully the team listens and takes it on board. Lighted Up Dan said he was going to follow that up and chase it up again, because it's one of those quality of life things, improvements that could be made that would just be so helpful to, a large section of the community, not just myself. I mean, having to get up, like it's different today because the sale was on a Friday night. So today's Saturday. So if I'm a bit tired of where it's not much of a drama, but having to get up at 2 AM on a work night to see where your place is in the list and see if it's worth getting up at 2 AM. Yeah, it hasn't been a very fun experience. But today was different. I just happened to wake up at 1:45. I did have my alarm set for like 1:55 or something, but I woke up a bit earlier, checked out, and I was one person ahead of me for the sky blue truck.
Periwinkle blue.
Sky blue. Bleh. But
if
talked me around.
Yeah, if anyone out there is impartial to periwinkle blue, it's a quote from the movie Snatch.
Yes, great.
Where, I love that movie. She's very impartial to periwinkle blue. I can't do the accent. It's a great accent. I can't do it.
So it does make sense. Samurai Aquatics will be putting this truck to use, transporting our outdoor decor NFTs here, there, and everywhere. So hopefully we can get to the point where we can put our logo on the side, which will look cool. So we shall see. But yes, as far as racing and whatnot goes, all yet to play out. Now, Cheese, it is our 1-year anniversary show next week. Now, we've kind of loosely thrown out some ideas here, there, and everywhere, but we don't really know what we're going to do. Maybe it's just going to be another regular show. It is the worst show ever, after all. Maybe it's just going to be like a meh.
Yeah,
we shall see.
Bad. We're pretty bad, but I've seen some worse out there.
Oh, I've seen far worse shows.
Trying to get on our brand.
So yeah, but if you're listening and you have any ideas, sling them to us. We might listen. We might completely forget. You never know. We'll see how we go. Other than that, is there anything else you wanted to touch on, Cheese? Nice short episode this week, sickos.
Nice short episode. Yeah, I think we're good.
All right. Get us out of here.
Let's see. I said it wrong the last time, so I'm going to say it right this time. Stay fresh, cheese bags.
Go ahead, get your pinky up. Talk wine and cheese, motherfucker. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Talk wine and cheese, motherfucker. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Go ahead, get your pinky up.
G'day, sickos. Okay, to get your hands on this episode's free custom Morecheese NFT, as always, like and subscribe. Then jump on into Detech's workshop Discord into the Discord server and tag Detech, Cheese, and myself, and then lose control. Get your freak on and support Detech working it. Later.
Empire, samurai, ride on a dingo, flying through the sky. Cheese in the house, get off the drive. Hit you with the hairbrush, hit you with the knife. Evil empire, samurai, ride on a dingo, flying through the sky. Hit you with the knife, flying through the sky. Evil empire, samurai, ride on a dingo, flying through the sky. Cheese in the house, get off the drive. Hit you with the hairbrush, hit you with the knife. Evil empire, samurai, ride on a dingo, flying through the sky. Hit you with the knife, flying through the sky.